Okay, hello everyone, and Random Gamer Riven here. Hope you're enjoying tonight's stream. Hello to regular viewer Nico. Thanks for joining the stream as always. So, my name is Random Gamer Riven, and of course, I'm streaming on behalf of Randomized Gaming. If you don't know me, I'm the editor of Randomized Gaming, and I welcome you to another Randomized Gaming stream. So yes, this is the weekday stream. As always, I'm streaming Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, but as we had a bank holiday this week, I'll just be streaming Tuesday and Thursday. Instead, I've been enjoying playing Eldorado Escape the past few weeks, or the last weekend. I'm getting my way steadily through it, which is quite interesting. Never actually played it fully through, but I've got through the first chapter now, and I'm on to the second one. So welcome you all to a Daytona USA 2001 stream. Do I need to mention what Daytona USA is? I think we pretty much all know, but for those of you who don't know, because I assume not everyone will know, Daytona USA is probably one of the most iconic racing games of all time. It even coined the catchphrase in the arcade, "It's no Daytona," because they sold so many arcade units that every arcade owner would just say, "Oh, it's no Daytona," and wouldn't buy various racing games. Daytona was a huge, phenomenal arcade title. Unfortunately, Sega, I think, failed to capitalise it on some of the home conversions. And the end result is the series is really flagged. I mean, you had these Saturn ports that weren't as good as they could have been. Then you had this Dreamcast port, which unfortunately is not that good. I'm going to be brutally honest. It's going to be a bit of a mixed stream tonight. What the problem with this Dreamcast version is it was developed by Genki and Amusement Village, not Sega AM2, the original developers. I think, from my understanding, AM2 palmed off pretty much all their Dreamcast era ports of their arcade games to Sega. Basically, AM2 passed them to Genki, as they were too busy doing Shenmue. Now, I don't need to say too much about Shenmue, I'm sure you're all aware of what that is, but Shenmue, interestingly, was regarded by Sega as a colossal flop in the end, and sadly, because of that, a lot of Sega AM2's own properties were not given the best conversions. Genki admitted they didn't understand Daytona's handling, and so the ending result is a very interesting game. So I'm just going to go in here. The music's not even consistent there. It's should carry on playing when I go sort of get the BMG test. But there's an issue. Daytona USA 2001. I believe it's just called Daytona USA in North America. This was a Dreamcast update. Effectively, it is a remake of the original Daytona and Daytona Championship Circuit Edition. I'm just going to see what the analog calibration is like. Yeah, they didn't calibrate it properly. There's not enough wide spec on the analog. They've just put it to, you literally only tap it a bit, and I'm only tapping it a little way, and it's already that. So basically, if I don't do that, it's a bit. Let's give it a whirl. But yes, I'll be playing through tonight's stream, and this is not the best version of Daytona. It's an interesting one, but it's not the best version. But as a Sega fan, I'm sure you'll all enjoy it. I don't know if you played this version before, Nico, but it's going to be an interesting one. I will. So there's a championship, single race. You have to beat the various modes to unlock things, so let's start with a single race to get the game going. I'll do a single race on all the courses. So this one, on the plus side, does have a number of new courses. You get the original arcade game, Arcade Advance, and Arcade Expert. They're the original arcade. You get Desert City, although technically this should actually be the fifth one, not the fourth one, as this is the the harder of the two tracks from Daytona CE's from Circuit Edition.
National Park Speedway. Circuit Pixie.
And there are 3 new ones. Circuit Pixie.
Rin, rin, rin. Mermaid Lake.
Now,
Rin. Circuit Pixie.
these are not the... they was hoping this would include the Daytona 2 tracks, but it didn't end up doing that.
Mermaid Lake.
In fact, I can't remember what the Daytona 2 tracks were called, actually. I'm just going to find out.
37 Speedway.
What were the Daytona 2 tracks? I don't believe they were these 3. I think
Mermaid Lake.
yeah, you got 3 different tracks. They're all very different to these 3. So
37
Mermaid Lake was done for this game. Rink was done for this game. Circuit Pixie was done for this game. Supposedly they were originally going to do a version of Daytona with all the tracks from the various games, but they never did. The only racing games you've ever played were Sonic Riders 2 and Sonic Art. Nico, where have you been living? I appreciate not everyone likes racing games, so that's what I wanted to do, show. But yeah, there's games like that. Surely you've played Outrun, games like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
But yeah, this is an iconic racing game, an absolutely iconical one.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, I know what you mean, racing games. I don't mind racing games. I'm not a big fan of them. What I really don't like is sports games. Can't actually power slide properly in this version either. Although if you're being good, you won't actually power slide, as power slide loses too much time. There used to be a mini game there if you would literally.
Check your position.
Trash bin fodder. Yeah, pretty much trash bin fodder after half a year. Anything that is that has a year on it, so FIFA 2019, 2018, literally is trash bin fodder after half a year. And usually when you find so at the minute, if you try to go back to buy even a game like FIFA 2018 or 2019, they will now be utter dirt cheap, as you say. They will literally be trash bin fodder. They're literally bargain bin, or as we call them, bargain bin fodder. Although I have had some very good games in the bargain bin, so... Now, some of you will notice this, that practice version, I only did 4 laps. That's because this one, they got the default laps wrong.
37 Speedway.
So I can change, I can go for fixation 8 laps. And I can do 40 cars. Okay, good. Okay, that's better. This is more like how it should actually be done. We'll be back in a sec, guys. I'm just going to grab a cup of tea. Okay, I'm back. So let's take a look at, let's do the actual proper fixation regulation of 710 Speedway. So yeah, I think there was something weird with the power slide in this one. You can also change your cars as well. There were some nice extras, but overall this just doesn't play as well as the original arcade version.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
And you don't get the classic, gentlemen, start your engines. They used a different voice actor and changed the dialogue to ladies and gentlemen. I kind of wish there'd been an option to change it so you could have gentlemen start your engines, ladies start your engines into ladies and gentlemen, and had a male and female announcer just to give you all the options. Actually do that, you generally get, okay, that's actually a good starting lap. The fastest one, yeah, okay, so there's a skid. The fastest one originally is to actually go down the power lane. Yep, and there we go. Oh, I'm not going to get good. I'm not going to get a good lap. Oh, that's not a good lap. It's nice to see the cars smashing into one another. Oh, that was not a good time. If I can, I'll adjust the sound effects at the next, after this run. But this is the iconic arcade track that everyone began their racing career on, so to speak. And there's this sonic wall coming up really is like the one thing I think anyone who will play Daytona during the 90s will just remember, that sonic wall. Yeah, that was actually slightly... You're actually... Power sliding does not actually necessarily give you an advantage. The fastest way that I did it, I saw a guy do it originally, was to drive down the pit lane, although I don't know if you can do it in this version. But yeah, I remember seeing it and just watching, that's how you get a really fast time.
Check your position. Checkpoint. Your time's extended. This is the final lap. Stay low in the turn. Check your position. Rear bumper.
And there we go. Not a great time. You ideally want to get an average of at least 18 seconds a lap. Ideally, when you start getting good, you'll be getting 17 and 16 seconds pretty routinely. I've not played Sonic Riders 2 that much. But one game that is very good is Kirby's Air Ride, and I did the first stream we did do of that. And that was really good. That had some great tracks designed, Kirby's Air Ride. Now I actually know how to stream properly. I'm totally tempted to re-stream that one, actually. Kirby's Air Ride was a really great fun game. Just going to slightly adjust. Okay, so music's at... I wish they'd separated voice from sound effects. So they've got the there you go, that iconic Daytona music. I'm actually going to I don't want the sound effects to knock out the music too much, so I will slightly turn up the analog, although I think that the sensitivity, just to see if that lets me power slide a bit easier. Yeah. Volume's good, by the way. Okay, thanks for confirming. I just wanted to double check. Appreciate you letting me know that, Naiko. Because a few times we don't get people comment, and then these days I've kind of got good at getting the mixing right. But you just be a bit careful because sometimes the games change wildly. So that was the first track from the original Daytona. So let's actually look at one from... Let's look at National Park Speedway. Now this one I really enjoyed. However, I'm going to say something here that
National Park Speedway.
So the fixation is 6 laps. Was it 6 laps? Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure the fixation was 4 originally. Maybe it was 6. It's been a while since I've done this one.
Race start.
This one has an interesting thing in that the Dreamcast version of this is a bit rubbish because it's missing the roller coaster. Basically, National Park Speedway is supposed to be a fun fair.
3, 2, 1, go!
And the fun fair is missing. And you do have different views in Daytona. We've got the up view, we've got the back view, we've got the in-car view. Let's do a bit of...
Checkpoint.
Time's extended. Stay low in the turn.
So basically, this stretch here should have the roller coaster on it. This big plane here, you should be able to see the roller coaster to the left, but it's all missing. Or was it slightly further ahead? They did change the track a bit. Yeah, so there's the Ferris wheel, but you're missing the roller coaster.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. Stay low in the turn.
Now that's one of the issues with this version. The turning is not great. I'm pretty sure that's why they changed some of Desert Canyon, because the turn...
Your time's extended.
It's a bit weird listening to the music here, because the this doesn't have the original Richard Jacobs soundtracks, who did some great sound effects that I will forever be synonymous with this track.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Yeah, it was the transitions, wasn't it? It was copyrighted by Sega, so they couldn't have the sort of transition effect, which is a big shame, really. Stuff like that shouldn't be copyrightable, I have to admit.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. Check your position.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. Try to go easy. Check your position.
So this, let's take this. So I'm gonna.
Extended. Stay
So this is full brake round the turn. Hi there, Erica. Thanks for joining the stream. Great to have you back with us here at Randomised Gaming. Yeah, this track was not adapted well for Daytona CE. From Daytona CE. Yeah, because the transitions that Sega did were really nice, and these days Sega don't do too many good racing games either, sadly. Oh, thanks for the likes, everyone. Appreciate it. If you are enjoying the stream, please do hit the like button. I have a little thumbs up as well on the VMU at the minute, which is quite nice. So let's have a look at, and I'll do another single race, and I might give a championship a shot. So, although I don't know how well I'm going to fare on a championship.
National Park Speedway. Circuit Pixie.
So Circuit Pixie. Yeah, I completely agree, Araka. I'm the same. It reminds me that I wanted to play Daytona 2. This is
Circuit Pixie. Rin Rin Ring.
Ring Ring Ring.
Mermaid Lake.
Let's do Mermaid Lake. Fixation 6 laps, let's go.
Race start. Ladies
Yeah,
and
okay,
gentlemen,
appreciate the likes,
select
guy.
your
Yeah, this is definitely... I mean, it was nice that we got an all shiny one. It's nice they did new tracks for it, but the handling just felt...
3, 2, 1, go!
I know, I appreciate some people do really love this version, so I can appreciate why a lot of people, but for me, the handling just doesn't quite feel like Daytona. I mean, visually it looks very good.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
It's actually released in 2000. As I mentioned, it was developed by Amusement Vision and Genki. And Genki didn't quite understand how this worked. Although, to be fair, this is definitely better than the appallingly bad Daytona 3, which came out relatively recently.
Your time's extended.
Yeah, Planet Harry has never made it over either. I have played Planet Planet Harriers relatively recently thanks to one of the emulators. I never ever saw the arcade game. It is a really enjoyable game, Planet Harriers.
Extended. 5 laps to go.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Oh yeah, visually this definitely looks like the best version of Daytona of the I mean, Daytona 2 has some graphical advantages over this, I think, and this has other graphical advantages. I think the big problem with this is the stock cars don't look quite right. Oh,
Trying to go easy.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
yeah, I would have loved to. I think a lot of the model. I would have loved to have seen Daytona 2. I would have loved to have seen Planet Harriers. I'd love to have seen the Star Wars Trilogy arcade game get a release.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
One of the other downsides with this is you actually have to play for 100 hours to unlock one of the hidden vehicles, which is just ridiculous. And I think that's 100 hours of in-game time as well. Now that's some serious time into Daytona.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. 2 laps to go.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Yeah, we never saw Virtual Cop 3 either, although I know you can actually play it with the dev kit Xbox Virtual Cop 3, as the Lindenberg, the hardware Virtual Cop 3 used is literally the Xbox hardware.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. This is the final lap.
There we go, this is the final lap. I do love the blimp has the word Dreamcast on it, that's a really nice touch.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Oh! I must admit, the remake of Panzer Dragoon 1 I really didn't like. You've got to play it for 100 hours for an achievement. Oh. That's brutal.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. Stay low in the turn.
There's a nice way to finish the race of the car just flying behind me. Admittedly, I can be a bit down on this game, but it's still a good fun racer. So although I will be a bit negative, that's me just being personally disappointed with this compared to the original Daytona arcade game. It's still a solid racer. It's not quite Daytona, but yeah, there's lots of flying cars. Some of the car physics in this are a little bit, they feel a bit too light this time around. They literally fly back like they're paper aeroplanes at points. And you still can't beat this Sega arcade music for that.
I.
So you guys have a quick listen.
B. R. I. V.
Yep, you can't beat that iconic Daytona Sega arcade music. Yes, randomised gaming streams where I don't stick myself on the streams. As you may know, that's one of the things about randomised gaming, we don't have ourselves on streams. Maybe one day if we hit 1 million subs or something, that little box on the side, I can shrink the picture a bit and have a very small video of me in the corner, but I really don't like that. It's just not my style. I just think it's more about the game rather than the presenter. Okay, do you want to see some more tracks in single race, or should I go for a bit of a championship? See if I can unlock some cars. Let's have a go. Yeah, the 360 port is fantastic. Oh, some nice still graphics there as well. Welcome to the world of championships.
Challengers Cup.
Yeah, I should actually do a proper video of the arcade version on Xbox 360. Yeah, the original arcade game's not. No, I think the original arcade game was about 50 frames a second. It is handling and even graphics. Yeah, you're right, Arika. Yeah, the first one was much closer. It's just the downside, as Naiko says, it literally is about 15 to 20 frames a second. Basically, Sega AM2 rushed it pretty much for the launch of the Dreamcast, and that was...
Race start! Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
But yeah, I mean, even now this still looks good. I mean, arguably this does actually look... I mean, if you were to HD this one, this would look better than the actual port they did. But the problem is this just doesn't play like Daytona. So you don't quite get the power slide. You definitely have to turn down the sensitivity as well. It doesn't... There he goes. You just literally... Yeah, the cards you can just literally whack out in this one. The second Daytona port on Saturn is actually a lot better if you get the Japanese version and you're using the steering wheel, at which point it then plays much more like Daytona. The PAL version and a few of I think the North... Whoa! With cars literally going through walls there.
Checkpoint.
2 laps to go.
Can I catch the guy in first? We'll soon find out.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
This is the final lap.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna gain on him enough.
Stay low in the turn.
No, that wasn't good. Slowed me down too much. Yeah, it's definitely better than the original PAL version and stuff. You definitely need a steering wheel as well. I still enjoy it though. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't quite feel. I mean, I would say the handling is still not the same as Daytona, but the handling in CE is vastly superior to the handling in this. There are a couple of Saturn games that literally don't play well with the steer. That some only play well with the steering wheel, and some only play well with the joypad. So there were some weirdness with the Sega. Oh, the other guy took it. Gotta come first.
National Park Speedway.
Right, starting grid 18th. Okay, here goes. This is going to be a tricky one.
Hornet.
Just think, the car, it doesn't give you any inclination of what the tyres do. Probably in the manual, but I'm not going to dig it out for the stream. Yes, you can. You get regional custom colours 1, which is basically the same one. Custom colours 2, and we've got. Let's just change the colours for this second race. This was one of the other player cars. This is the alternative. This was the manual
Ladies
Hornet
and
colour
gentlemen,
cars, I think,
start your engines.
in the original game, the red and blue.
So, good luck.
3, 2, 1, go!
We're underway.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn. Are you all right?
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
We use the official Sega Saturn steering wheel.
5 laps to go.
We do actually have a Dreamcast wheel as well, but I wasn't going to dig it out for the stream.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn. Are you all right?
Checkpoint.
Yeah, Bulk Slash is a really good game. I think I'm going to need to make a pit stop because I think I've trashed my car. Pit road!
Checkpoint.
Of course, Daytona is a game where if you have to go into the pits, it means you're about to lose horribly, but oh well. Yeah, it's just a shame the Sega Saturn 3D controller is far nicer than the Dreamcast one. The Dreamcast controller is just horrible.
Stay low in the turn.
This is a disastrous race.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
You literally have to slow down, totally kill your speed to make that.
Checkpoint.
Good developers will always be able to get hold of the controls and everything that they've got and just make it spot on. It's basically whether the developer wants to create a product that plays and looks perfect, or whether the developer's just out to get a quick crash grab. Yeah, Dreamcast controller's horrible. It gives me
Checkpoint.
I can the button I'm using for the trigger is already getting a bit sore because it's just such an awkward design. No, I didn't like the fact it was missing 6 buttons as well, and they could have added them. There's space for them.
Checkpoint.
2 laps to go.
I think there were a lot of mistakes with the Dreamcast controller. You have to remember the Dreamcast was not popular in Japan, so... The other thing I don't like is the fact the cable is to the front of the controller, not to the back, so it's always getting in way of your lap and stuff and sort of over your legs. Which is another design. The Dreamcast controller does a lot of weird design decisions, and it's not, as you say, it's not very ergonomical on your hands.
Rear bumper.
Oh, there's actually a power slide. You have to brake so much, it's not worth doing them in this one. Yeah, I don't even like the DC official arcade stick because it's got that, it doesn't have a hexadecimal thing. Yeah, it's a dreadful lap time, but oh well.
Checkpoint.
At least you guys have seen what it looks like when you pit in this game.
Try to go easy.
Checkpoint.
Oh, that groove! Problem is that then's going to bend the cable. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's... Oh, that's actually... Yeah, no, I didn't realise that's what that groove's for. Yeah. Problem is it then bends the controller and then you just have the cable out over the front. Yeah, it's not a great design, even when you use that groove. It's just bending it round. You have to circle it in your lap anyway. The only way you do it is if you bend it really tight, and in which case that's going to be bending the actual cable. So yeah, that was a really rubbish race. Yeah, the VMU is always nice. The fact it's only mini games. In fact, like even though I'm playing here, I've got the Daytona USA display on it. It's really nice. So where I'm in the rankings, I'm going to be about 5th, I reckon. 6. Just a replay, or just replay the race? If it replays the race, I need to replay this one to get better, but... Oh no, it's just a replay.
3, 2, 1, go!
Let's do a quick... This is going to be dreadful, but I just want to show you a bit of what the replay looks like. This was not a shining glory race. Appreciate all the likes, everyone who's been on stream. Thank you very much for hitting that like button. It does really help the channel. Whenever you hit it, basically says rates our videos accordingly. I think replays can make anything look good. All the cars battling it out. And me crashing into the wall here. My mistake was going into the pits. Oh, the VMU you're talking about, you can use it to... yeah, I think there are a few items you could use things with the VMU mini games to gain items, and also use a few exploits where you could... Oh, I have a feeling I know how Juke would work on Time Splitters. I'm guessing you removed the VMU, bought the items, went to update it, and then you inserted the VMU and it restored the cache or something. This is a game where the brake is not for... You really don't... Replay exit. Next game. Next game. Next race!
Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. There are a few hidden cars in this, so...
Hornet. Grasshopper. Hornet.
I'll stick with the Hornet.
Grasshopper. Falcon. Lightning. Hornet. Lightning. Hornet. Lightning. Hornet.
Oh, I might try to swap to the Lightning.
Race start.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever played the PAL version of
Start your engines.
Daytona Erica, but that version has lots of problems. The Japanese version is much more complete. The PAL version had sort of a few incorrect... it's missing visuals. Some of the cars have the wrong stats. The two-player mode isn't implemented properly, as I remember.
Stay low in the turn.
Oh god, this one has dreadful grip. I made a mistake picking this one.
Checkpoint.
It's definitely faster at least, but the grip is terrible.
Checkpoint.
5 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
So ironically, this one takes the tighter corners better.
Checkpoint.
I do like the fact you have so much ambience in all the races in Daytona. The fact you have cars and things flying around you. It gives it much more life, makes the machine get waterfalls there. It just makes everything a bit more interesting than a lot of the other racing games. They're very bland and uninteresting stages. Key fact about good race design is to have lots of things that keep the stage original and just keep changing it slightly so there's always something new to see. It also acts as a little guide to what lap you're on, so if you know a train appears on, let's say on that bridge on lap 3, you know you're on lap 3 and things like that.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
Yeah, the grip for this car is awful, though it does make taking a few of the turns a bit easier.
Checkpoint.
And Daytona, as always, has wonderful music. Admittedly, I wasn't as keen on the renditions, but it's not bad. It's
Checkpoint.
2 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
oh come on.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
This is the final lap. Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
Okay, so not the best run. I didn't like that car, so it was quite good at taking a few of the turns a bit better. But yeah, I'm definitely slipping down the rankings. The hidden cars are a bit weird as well, I remember. So Dino Canyon, okay, I'm going to be a Hornet this time around.
Lightning. Hornet. Grasshopper.
So that's going to be so slow. The grip's too strong on that one. Yeah, I mean,
Hornet.
the selection of cars you actually get, you unlock quite a few cars, but the music is always a high point, although I think some of the tracks, the remixes aren't quite as good as the original, but it's still Daytona in a form, just not quite as good as the arcade version. It's a shame because towards the end of the Dreamcast era they stopped doing mini games on the VMU, even though they were quite nice initially.
2, 1, go!
I think one because they realised the VMU battery life was dreadful, so no one ever had batteries in them. Because it just drained. They hadn't, for what it is, the batteries drain far too quickly. I think it's something to do with the timer clock or something. They didn't set it up right. It was just draining at a ridiculous rate. It shouldn't have needed 2 batteries to power the stuff for that long. Oh, the race. Oh dear. Oh. Can't restart either. Daytona, let's go away, let's go away, Daytona. Trying to power slide there with the power slide. Yeah, there are definitely issues with some Sega. That should actually say Sega AM2 in the original version.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Still, I do like the visuals. They did get the one thing I will say. I think largely the stage visuals in this are pretty much spot on to the original arcade game. I think that's the one thing they didn't. The art directors definitely seem to know what they were doing. It's just some of the way that they made the game handle and feel. It looks like Daytona. It just doesn't quite. I think the only slight thing was the cars.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
2 laps to go.
Yeah, we ended up basically taking out every time we'd play a VMU. When we started getting new VMUs towards the end, we just used to take the batteries out. First thing we'd do is take the batteries out, and then when we want to play a game, that's when we put the batteries back in. Because it was horrendously draining. I don't think they'd actually. I think Sega made an error in the actual VMU hardware because it shouldn't have drained the batteries the amount it did, considering what it was doing. I think they made quite a miscalculation somewhere with the actual design of the VMUs. It shouldn't have been draining the battery life as much as it was. Oh, I'm gonna hit that and go the wrong way. This probably is the most iconic. Oh, I'm just going to see, does this have you lost your sponsor? There used to be a hidden message in this cave. You went up here. Congratulations, you just lost your sponsor. Yeah. That was a joke message in there. One old Daytona vets will know.
This is the final lap.
It basically meant if you're taking that route, you were just driving very, very badly.
Checkpoint.
That's right, I have a feeling the dinosaurs. What's the dinosaur skull missing in this one? Yeah, the save space is ridiculously low. I know there are programs that can actually increase the space size on VMU, but if you do that, that may render some games unable to save. I mean, the PS1 memory card had absurdly low save space, but the VMUs were ridiculous. We have loads of them here. We've just got ridiculous numbers. Yeah, so the dinosaur skull should be up on this wall here. Oh, there it is, Dinosaur Canyon, yep. Not having too good a race run this second half, never mind. Just one of those things, but it's just nice to show off the game. Dragoon's definitely the better racer in the randomised gaming scene. Appreciate all the likes, everyone. Glad to see you're enjoying a bit of Daytona. Although, apologies, my racing is a bit out of sorts. I need to practice a bit. You definitely need to practice on this one if you want to get the best out of it. Yeah, there was also an official 4X memory card as well. But that's a bit weird. That has 4 separate banks, and there are a few games that don't work with it properly. Mainly the earlier games, but there are a few that don't work with it, so it's something. Game over, nice. Can I? It doesn't let you. I'd have thought that'd let you continue. Eh. Let's do a time attack on one of the stages I haven't shown yet. Actually, no, that's just a single race. I might as well get some single race on the stage. I'll try another championship in a bit, see if I can do better. Appreciate everyone hitting that like button. Thank you. As always, if you want to chat, then drop by Randomised Game. Please do. You can always chat in the stream. Just so you know, you just need to subscribe to the channel for 1 minute in order to enable chatting. Apologies. The reason we do that now is just to avoid any spam comments. So apologies if you want to chat and you're not a subscriber, but it's just to avoid spam comments. You only need to subscribe for a minute and then you can gain access to chat. And if you want to unsubscribe at the end of the video, please do. And of course, as always, if you enjoy our videos, please do consider hitting the like button. And please do consider also, as I said, subscribing to the channel if you do like our content here. So I'll jump to one of the courses. So I was failing miserably at Dinosaur Canyon. I haven't shown Seaside Street Gallery, so let's jump into this one. Let's actually have a gander at this one. Well, there are one or two Sega Saturn games that do absolutely decimate the memory card, but largely, yeah, you only needed one memory card unless you had a big old... We've actually got about 4, I think, because the games that are the real big offenders, Hexen was badly programmed and literally takes up an entire memory card, although you can use passwords. All the racing games take up about 1,000 blocks as well. So if you have Touring Car, Sega Rally and Daytona, they will literally use up a whole memory card between the 3 of them. But pretty much everything else was pretty small on the save file size. So this is, of course, the Yeah, I don't like the fact the stats were the different. You can't just knock out the stats on the card, which is something I didn't like about this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engine.
Some of the changes for this version didn't quite ever gel with me right. Ah yes, you mentioned Resident Evil, Arakash, presumably because you can see the health of your characters on the VMU. We do actually have all the Dreamcast Resident Evils, they were very good. I know there were a few extras, I think, in the sort of game N64 and GameCube versions, but yeah, you definitely don't turn correctly in this one. The turning's just not as sharp as it should be. Once you get to speed, you don't turn as strong as you should do. I mean, yes, when you're at speed, your turning is reduced in Daytona, but not as much. And that's because
Your time's extended.
it's about as big as the PS2. Yeah, the Sony memory cards were dreadful. Sony PS2 cards were also pretty dreadful. Graham, they do, don't they? Especially via VGA, and that was how I actually played Resident Evil 2 on the Dreamcast first. So I actually played it on the Dreamcast, which was really nice. I think weirdly they did 2 releases in Japan. They did a single GD-ROM version, and then they did a double GD-ROM version because I think some people still wanted the double disc like look to the game. Despite the fact I think Resident Evil 2 actually fitted all on one GD-ROM. Because you had much more, because the extra space would have all the sort of Claire or Leon stuff, because they largely everything was all on the same There's the pirate ship.
Stay low in the turn. Watch your speed.
Yeah, the turning, you would never do that in the Japanese version. There's just the turning's just not as tight as it needs to be in this version of the game.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. This is the final.
Kind of wish they'd done a port of Resident Evil 1 to Sega Dreamcast. I think that would have been the Pied de la Resistance.
Check your position.
Code Veronica Complete is fantastic as well, so
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. Check your position. Almost out of time.
yeah, although to be fair, with Resident Evil
14.
on the N64 they used a lot of they compressed the whole game. They apparently used borderline pirate techniques to compress the whole game onto the cart, and they down-sampled the movies and intros quite heavily. But yeah, the N64 version's quite a feat. And it does have a few like additional text bits, and these days it's actually quite pricey to grab, but the Dreamcast and GameCube versions are definitely the superior versions. Let's give that one another shot, see if I can do a bit better. Normally I can do Seaside Street Gallery easy. This one's actually easier than Dinosaur Canyon, but as I mentioned, the turning's just not great in this version. The braking's actually dreadful. But then Genki did admit they did not understand Daytona's handling when they did this, so there was later on an interview where they admitted they didn't get Daytona's handling, which is why it doesn't quite handle as well as it should do.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. Rear bumper.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. So, good luck.
3, 2,
Okay, let's give this another shot.
Underway.
Blue, blue skies, I wanna fly. Sky high, let's go together. Yep, I know the Daytona music off by heart. Blue, blue skies, I see. Blue, blue skies. So I don't have my headphones on, so I'm not sure where the music would be in the thing, but yeah, blue. That's not a good start. Let's give it another one. But yeah.
3, 2,
I think the music is just one of the many things that make Daytona such a special arcade experience. Even if it was a Japanese guy badly singing English. Or some people say flying high in blue, blue skies, because you should be saying flying high in blue, blue skies, but it sounds a bit more like, well, fly, sky high, let's go.
checkpoint.
Well, it should be more, I want to fly sky high, let's go together. Yeah, I can't remember the name. The singer's quite legendary in Daytona. Strangely enough, his music for the second game was not a patch on the stuff with the original, and it was quite painful to listen to.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
I must admit, there is, whenever I play Daytona, for me, a sentimental attachment, because, you know, this was the game you would see in so many arcades, and I played this so many times in the arcade with friends and family. And those 8-player cab setups, they were kind of quite special. And it was just such a, when it released, it was such a groundbreaking game, Daytona. It really was. When you compare what you were playing in '94 when it released in the arcades, I think it might have actually been finished at the sort of end of '93, but I think it wasn't really mainly in arcades. But before this, the SNES and the Mega Drive, and then you had Daytona, and it was just a wow experience if you were a kid from that era, because the change, the ramp up from 2D game into this full-on 3D racing game with stock cars and everything. Virtual racing had an impact, but I think Daytona was even more impressive, more accessible. Virtual racing still had a hint of sort of those Amiga games where you had very badly polygon cell shaded stuff, but here was Daytona where you had textures and it just looked in a whole different ball game to anything else in the arcades and the home market at the time. I mean, it was quickly, all the competitors quickly caught up with it, but it was for those few months where it was in the lead, it was just phenomenal.
Check your position.
No, I'm going to hit that.
Trying to go easy. Almost out of time.
You place 15.
So before, appreciate everyone leaving likes on the stream. Thank you very much. And I should introduce myself in case you're new to the stream. My name is Random Gamer Riven, and I am the editor of Randomized Gaming. And I'm tonight streaming Daytona USA 2001 on the Sega Dreamcast. Some of you may have noticed I'm slightly tweaking the format for the thumbnails at the minute. We're going to be doing some updates in the banner and stuff as well, just to make it look a bit cleaner and nicer. Hope it more easier for people to pick up what we're actually doing as well, because some of the old thumbnails, as much as I like the patterns we've done, I think actually it's probably we can make them slightly easier for people to see, especially on mobile devices. So
Street Galaxy. Desert City.
So let's do Desert City. This is the first track from... No, this is actually the second track seen in Daytona CE. However, interestingly, I'm actually going to whack on 40 cars for a bit of fun. This track had some major changes, noticeably in the arcade, in the original arcade, or not the original arcade, in the Saturn's version. This notoriously had quite an infamous 90-degree bend, which you had to properly skid to get around. Now, because Genki messed up the handling, they could no longer do that 90-degree bend, so they took it out.
Desert City.
So I think it even might be shown. There is a 90-degree bend shown here, but it should be the one at the end. So there should be like a proper 90-degree bend into the last chicane for the train, but that's missing in this version.
Race start. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Oh yeah, Devil May Cry 2 was on 2 blue DVDs, wasn't it?
1, go!
This stage is quite nice because you actually have a train going around as well. So a heavy U-turn as well early on. This was actually in Daytona CE. This is actually quite a tough course to get round. The balloons as well, which are really nice. Yeah, so it should be this turn coming up here. Should be, I'm pretty sure it should be the 90-degree one, but it's not 90-degree in this version because it's too. Because I think the physics engine Genki used for this game couldn't quite do it correctly. Or if it did do it correctly, you couldn't make the turn in any car. You were supposed to skid round it, and it was supposed to be the most difficult turn in all of Daytona. But yeah, this track is definitely not the same as the one seen on Saturn, and it's not as good as the one. The one on Saturn's a much tougher track you need to master. This feels like they've done a rendition of it without being able to fully capture why the Saturn's one was made a lot more tricky. It's quite It's a very good track on Sega Saturn. It's not such a good one
Checkpoint.
on the Dreamcast version. But I did like the balloons going up. It might even be this corner here. It may be that one actually, with the 90-degree bend originally.
Checkpoint.
This track does quite a lot of changes from the Saturn's one, so if you ever get to look at the Saturn's one, do take a look. I probably should do a proper comparison video at some point, just go through say this was the Saturn's version, and this is some of the changes they made to it in the arcade version as well. We do have the original arcade one as well, so I could like do a showcase of all the different versions of Daytona. So the Saturn's, so both Saturn, in fact all three Saturn renditions. The PAL version of CE is quite a bit different to the Japanese version of CE.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended. 2 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
Again, you really
Check your position.
yeah, Genki basically did all of AM2's outsourcing work on Dreamcast, as AM2 were predominantly tied up with Shenmue at this point. That's why they didn't do any of their home ports, because they were literally working on Shenmue.
Almost out of time.
You place 13, 4.
Hi 8-bit SNK boy, thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate all the likes, everyone. Glad to see you're all enjoying this look at Daytona Daytona USA 2001 on the Sega Dreamcast. I also learnt, based on one of our Izzy streams, that the YouTube stats for live streaming are totally broken at the minute. So let's take a different course. I'll go through them. But yeah, this is definitely harder than
National Park
so National Park Speedway.
Circuit Pixie.
It's not that bad, the CE handling. It's actually quite good once you use a steering wheel. It's better than this. This is the worst handling of all the Daytonas. Daytona USA 2001 really is awful. AM2 aren't disbanded, Nyko. AM2 are actually still about. AM2 are about the only team not disbanded, amazingly, but they just don't do that much anymore. Almost every other AM team, so AM1 got moved into the various teams, AM3, 4 got changed around. AM2 are actually still going.
So, good luck.
3, 2, 1, go!
Underway.
This is actually quite reminiscent of one of the tracks from Daytona 2, but it's not quite the same.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Supposedly there was some suggestion they were going to originally port Battle on
Rear wheel. Rear wheel.
Battle on the Edge, I think.
Check your position.
Well, these days the closest to the arcade one will be the Xbox 360 and PS3 edition, as that is the arcade version. That's probably my preferred go-to version. The only advantage with the Sega Saturn version these days is the fact you did have the extra cars, which were a nice extra, and there were some unlocks, but I still, these days the oh, this is an easy one to win.
Time's extended.
These days, definitely, I think the preferred version would be the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions of Daytona, but it's just pretty much a bare bones arcade port with none of the extras the home conversions have.
Position.
I'll give that one another run. I assume that's fixation's actually 8 laps, not 4.
You place 17.
Hello everyone on stream. Appreciate you all watching. I will do a bit of time trials and try the other modes. I'm just going to give this one another shot, try the actual fixation. But yes, I hope you're all enjoying this look at randomised gaming. Look at Daytona USA 2001 on the Dreamcast. I think in North America this was just called Daytona USA, but it was actually Daytona USA 2001. It was actually released in 2000, I think, in Japan initially, and then was released... And it was developed by AM Vision and Genki, not Sega AM2, who did the original arcade version, as AM2 were busy on Shenmue at this point, so... And that's probably one of the issues they had, that AM2 weren't looking at some of their...
Circuit
I'm just
Pixie.
going to check what's the fix... Yeah, I was going to say fixation. Let's do 40 cars. Right, let's give it another whirl. This one's definitely one of the easiest tracks in the game.
Start. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah, I agree, Arika. I think the rename to Daytona USA was a bad idea. This is not a port date. This is, like I said, the 2001 idea. One, because it gives it a modern feel. It makes it sound like it's a new remake. And that's what this is. This was a remake of Daytona. I suppose it is a remake of Daytona Championship Edition with new tracks, really. The downside is it doesn't include the... There was a track that the people who did the PC port added in that's... I can't remember. It's something like... It's not Seaside. It's like Gallery something for... basically, the PC version of Daytona has an additional track that was never present in any other version, and I really would like to see it added into some of the other versions.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
Yeah, I keep meaning to grab a Japanese Saturn ourselves, just because the true NTST Saturns need to be a touch faster, and I really want to actually get them for our sort of Hertz comparison stuff, so we can do a true NTSC comparisons, because PAL Saturns do lag behind a few Hertz even when converted, because the crystals can't quite, from what I understand, the oscillation crystals inside them can't quite do NTS speeds correctly, or at least can't quite do NTS speeds correctly with the current mods. I'm sure we could probably mod it up, because the PS2 is like the first console that can correctly do PAL and NTS speeds on the console, because it's a weird thing. It has the right crystals on both sides, so there's definitely, I think, a bit of tweaking. Yeah, the AI in this one's pretty unforgiving, I have to admit. You notice I'm getting really good lap times, and it's still... Yeah, that's not so good. I've sent that guy flying, but it's definitely the racing... Genki probably didn't balance this correctly. As I mentioned, Genki did the home port, and there were a lot of issues. Genki later admitted they didn't understand Daytona, which is why, at the time, this game got quite heavily lambasted, unfortunately. Not by the review magazines. Most of the review magazines gave this very good reviews, and it is a good version of Daytona, but it's not Daytona. So if you're looking for an arcade port of Daytona, this is not it. There is a number of how it plays differently, and I'm not a big fan of this version, but I know a lot of people do enjoy it. Some people are very sentimental over it, because of course it's probably the first version of Daytona they played. So if you get used to this version, you're probably not going to like perhaps say the arcade version as much, but it's definitely a nice version. All I'll say, if you're getting an NTSC system, make sure you've got a step-down converter, or the power supply has been changed to the power one, as of course by default PAL uses is 240 mains over the NTSC one, so... Oh wow, you actually have a set of system discs. I need to actually speak to some people to try and get hold of some system discs. I'd love to be able to get hold of system discs. Do you actually have both system discs then, 8-bit SNK boy? Because they are, if you have them, for those who don't know, the system discs are developer discs. There's one for third-party games, one for first-party games. If you have them, you put the system disc in, it boots, and then it allows you to put in what we call unassigned code. So that means any homebrewed, burned, or basically it was given to developers and reviewers before you did the final disc. So it'd allow you to play homebrew code, basically, or unfinalized code. Although just the term that I just said and that I just the official term is unassigned code. It's not been officially assigned. But if I ever say unassigned code, that means homebrewed stuff. That's what a game thing is. Unassigned code is the official term in the industry for code that has not been officially retailed, but sent to reviewers and things. I should have actually done a replay on that one. Does the pseudo Saturn allow you to save to the memory card? Because I know a lot of those old 4MB cards didn't normally support direct saving to them via the memory card, which made them a pain to use. Here's a quick gander at time attack. Or should I go for? Actually, I'm going to quickly give 377 Speedway a shot. I'll see if there is a whiz for this. I don't think the whiz will work in this version, but I'll show you what it is. Put it this way, Hello Matthew Sanders, thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, I know most 4MB cards didn't allow you direct memory card saving. Obviously, they didn't figure out what official cards were doing to save them, to save to. So the whiz in this one, you can't do it this first lap. Is in the original arcade version, if you stay to the far right of the pit lane, you can drive down it. So I'll see if it works in this. Ooh, I do like the Sega time. Yep, always nice to have new people in chat. Thanks for joining, Matthew Sanders. We'll see, does it work? Oh, it does work. Okay. I didn't think it would in this version. Oh, I should have gone for endless lap rather than a... Give it another whirl. That's... Yeah, you've got to get it just right. Ah, so you got an old school Sega Saturn then. That's nice. Sort of the older models. Yeah, there's a lot of 1MB, 4MB carts, which is why I'm not been a... there I got caught in the lap time, but basically... The whiz is to get it so you just dodge the start and then you nip in and then you can zoom round. This was how I watched. So the first time we were playing Daytona on the Xbox 360, we looked at the best lap times because we knew how good our lap times were. And we thought, well, over the years on stats, we thought, we'll see how well we are. And we've got some really good lap times. And we watched someone had like a 12-second lap and we were like, how did he do this? And then we saw that whiz and we were like, oh, cheater. But yeah, that is the official whiz for the best times that you'll see people do. No, 2. There are a lot of 4MB and 1MB cartridges. And we at Randomised Gaming don't actually use those unofficial ones because they a lot of the earlier ones will bend the cart slots because they don't use standardised cartridge actually to go into the system. They usually use bigger, cheaper cartridges that bend the pins of the Saturn.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
Oh, let's try that again. See if I can do the whiz properly. If you do it right, you can get about 12-second lap time or something.
2, 1, go!
The power slide doesn't work properly in this version as well. Although the power slide isn't always the best thing to do because it does lose you a lot of speed.
Stay low in the turn.
So, yeah, that just does not come out properly in this one. I don't think it even actually works properly.
Checkpoint.
You have got to cut the grass initially in this one. Let me try this. Give a proper run as well then. So can I beat 240?
Go!
So I regard a good lap time as 18 or under. That's the average you want to aim for in the arcade. You don't want to get anything higher than 18.
Stay low in the turn.
Yeah, I shouldn't really... Another thing is not to brake. You do lose a lot of time if you brake.
7 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
So this is the thing, if you get that right, you'll hit it and then you'll ricochet. So you literally won't lose any time.
Stay low in the turn.
That should have been a power slide again.
Checkpoint.
Ah.
6 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
The power slides just don't work properly in this one, so that's not a good lap time.
Checkpoint.
Come on, come on. So that should get... Come on. Get me out of the pit lane. So that's basically... The whiz is to take the grass, and basically if you do it right... In the arcade version, you can get times that if you do that whiz right, almost 12 seconds. So, yeah, so that's how you hit it hard, like that, and that way you'll keep your time. By the way, I have been playing quite a bit of Eldorado's Gate. I have managed to get to the second chapter now, so I might actually do a full playthrough of the first disc and see, with a bit of
In the turn.
me doing guides and translations, see how well it does. 16, 17. That's not great.
Checkpoint.
2 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
Okay. No, that's lost me too much speed.
Checkpoint.
This is the final lap.
Yeah, the slide just doesn't work as well as it should do. So,
Stay low
in
in the turn.
theory, the other way is to hit it like that, and then try again, challenge the record. If you hit it like... If you hit it at an angle, you could sometimes ricochet off and straight down, which gives you a faster thing as well, as I was hoping to do that. Let's do... It's irritating because I do not... The tricks that you would usually use in Daytona don't properly work in this version, which is one of my irritations with it.
Mermaid. Rin. Circuit Pixie.
Although these three tracks here were specifically designed for this game and they've never appeared in any other rendition. Although actually having ghost cars is quite helpful to compete against. Appreciate all the likes, everyone. Thank you for everyone on stream at the minute.
2, 1, go!
I will give Championship another shot in a minute. I will at some point give the Japanese version of Daytona more love. CE and the original game. The one issue with this circuit is there's not much in the way you can do to actually improve your times. You can only really just basically nail the racing line. So you want to stay, yeah, not quite. Can I get 17? Can I nail the racing line? Okay, that's pretty much it. All you have to do is nail the racing line. This is probably the easiest course in the whole of Daytona. And that's every version of Daytona. It's probably a bit too easy. It's kind of like the one you'd expect for qualifying. So literally, if you nail the racing line, I'm going to get almost mirror times. Can I get a 17-second lap? Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, yes! You ain't going to get much faster than that, and I won't get a 17-second lap as soon as I hit the curb this time. This one's actually going to be very hard to get 17-second laps in the actual race because you're going to be hitting so many of the other cars, but... Cool, so you're well prepared. Yeah, we have a step down. We only actually have one step down converter. We've never actually used it though, so don't actually know if it works. Been able to always source alternative power supplies because you can get, so for Japanese like Super Nintendos and Mega Drives, you could use like either some of them you could use the power mega because they were like adapters. And you could just use them. So a lot of the Mega adapters were AC to DC things, so they'd actually work. It's things where they use like the double pins that are just direct mains cables. That's when you mustn't plug them in or else you'll blow the board. And I should have put Riv there. Why did I put Jam? Yeah, I have seen the Satatoris. They're quite interesting. Right, let's give Championship. So we've got... I don't think you could do verse. I think this is the two-player mode, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let's give Championship another shot. After the first failed run, can I do better? Appreciate the likes, everyone. Thank you very much for the likes. So, if you're new to the stream, my name is Random Gamer Ribbon. I'm the editor of Randomised Gaming. Thank you for this look. I'm currently looking at Daytona USA 2001. If you enjoy our content, please do, as I said, consider hitting that like button. It does help us. If you want to chat in the comments, please do. You can lurk away if you want. You do need to be subscribed to the channel for a minute in order to comment. The reason we've done that is just to avoid any spam messages, as we have had a few spam messages in the past. It's a great way of cutting it down. But of course, you can subscribe for the minute, chat away, and then unsubscribe at the end of the video if you don't like our content here at Randomised Gaming. But we hope you do, and we hope you stick around. I currently stream every Monday, Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30 PM United Kingdom time, which is currently British summer time. Although we're not in 2 months time. I think we're on to GM Greenwich Mean Time again. There are a few unlockable cars in this. Yeah, I do like the look of the Saturnator at all. It looks very, very nice. And it seems to be the best of those, the onboard drives. I've seen a couple where half the games don't work, which is one of the things I will say. No, we don't want. I don't want that. Let's go for a real.
R. I. B. Challengers Cup.
Okay, place 5th or better in the... Yeah, rink.
3-7 Speedway.
Yeah, my issue with some of the optical drives is they haven't been tested with every game. There's a couple people have been mentioning and chatting. They found out that some of those optical drives don't work with a lot of the games because the people that make them don't test them properly. And the last thing you want to be doing is forking out 100 quid for a drive that doesn't work. The Saturnator, I know they've had a few issues with, but they've been rapidly fixing them with the Saturnator. Some of the other drives, I've heard some real horror stories about half the games not working with. So, but the Saturnator, they've been making a really good job of it. So I'm very interested to... especially supporting the guy, seeing as he was the one that actually cracked the system for the how to work, basically a plug-in hard drive. 16, can I get 17? 18 on the first lap. That's a nice first lap.
7 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
So you can get the angled hit like there, which will do. That's going to lose me too much. No, Ribbon, what are you doing? I'm penalising myself for my bad driving.
Stay low in the turn.
I'm not, as said, Dragoon is the main driver in the random gaming team, so I need to do better than this. Just actually try to hit hard around the turn.
Stay low in the turn.
Yeah, the power slides just don't work that well. Oh, okay, that one works better, just double tapping the brake and then... so there's technically should be power sliding there. It kind of power slid, but... the power slides don't get you the fastest round the turns.
Stay low in the turn.
Ideally, what you actually want to do is use another car as a buffer.
Checkpoint.
That way you can get really fast turns. That car out in first is not going to be catched. Ow.
Are you away?
Fudgems. I was nearly about to say something slightly stronger there.
2 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
Nah, run for this turn hasn't been as good.
Checkpoint.
This is the final lap.
disappointed with this run. I should have got second at least. The car out first is miles ahead. No, it's going to be too slow. I think my main reason for grabbing something like a Satori would be to play games that were never officially released. My thumb is not thanking me. The Dreamcast controller is not kind to your fingers. So that's 60 points. Yeah, I should have got second on that race. I'll see if I can better my previous run.
National Park Speedway.
Okay, right, can I keep my score up? This is definitely one of the hardest stages. Again, the car driving. I probably should tow. The other car had better turning, but I think it's going to slide all over the place too much. I'm just going to have to brake a lot. What do the tyres do? I'm actually going to dig out the manual now. So remember, kids, you actually needed the manuals in the older games. So, tyres. Assuming it actually tells me. It doesn't tell you anywhere in game what the... Okay, here we do. Soft yield a better grip, while hard yield a better drift. I'm going to go up one. Medium hard, because I need to turn more. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly easy to get unreleased games. There's games like Return Fire you can get where they leaked the code for. So the Deep Fear, so Return Fire's been leaked. Deep Fear's been leaked. There's a few others as well. Well, Deep Fear, the North American version's been leaked to get a European and Japanese version.
Race start. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah, with some of the games now on Saturns are so expensive.
3, 2, 1, go!
I suspect there will be a price dive at some point, because I don't think in 20 years' time it's only going to be us old fogies by then that will be still interested in these older consoles. The younger people will be wanting Fortnite collectibles, so I think oh my word, they actually drifted there. You've got to go for the better tyres to drift. Basically, the Hornet does not drift with the normal tyres. Yeah, Metal Back's a brilliant game. It is available in some of the Taito collections these days on the PS2, so if you're after some of the Taito games, that's a cheaper method. This is much better. These tyres are letting me drift now. Watch all the yellow cars smash themselves up in front of me. Whoa!
Checkpoint.
Okay, he was literally going for a flying lessons there. Okay, I'm going to leave myself on medium soft now. I can actually drift better. Ah, no.
Trying to go easy.
Yeah, there aren't too many of the shooters we're after either, so I'm glad we got them when we did, that's all I'm going to say. I grabbed most of my Saturn stuff in the early 2000s when prices weren't shockingly high. I think inevitably there'll be a price recollection. I'm not convinced everything's going to hold up in the current market. And some people are overpaying, and as one of the guys was recently showing, that sealed heritage lot, it's one of the auction houses not running, let's just say, yeah, not, I wouldn't be buying anything from there anytime soon. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, there's a great, is it Carl Job's video on about some of the recent auctions. He's done a really great video on the subject. I highly recommend it.
2 laps to go.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
Ah, shouldn't have done that. Should have broke a bit earlier. These tyres are better. These tyres I can actually drift with.
Checkpoint.
I'm guessing if you change the tyres with the cars as well, it's like you change the drift. So the ones that have weaker grip, you want the stronger grip tyres with. Yep, that's something you learn if you actually read the manuals, kids. Something you don't get these days, hence why games like Warframes don't tell you anything and no one has a clue how to play the game. No, you're not getting past me. I'm keeping my 10th position. Yeah, I actually start drift. Yeah, these you can actually drift with these tyres. Okay, I wish I'd known that earlier. Okay, so I'm up 10 positions on my previous run, so. Darius Gadian still isn't that expensive, but Batsugan and Battle Garage Gear is very expensive these days, although Battle Garage Gear has now been surpassed by the PlayStation 4 version in every way. But it's still a very good shooter, Battle Garage. Gregor, I should say Gregor. Okay, so where am I this time around? I'm of the mindset I like to actually own them if possible to support the developers.
Ring, ring, ring.
Even if it's only a support of an old game. But yeah, I don't agree with some of the prices these days some of the games are going at. I think there has been a bit of inflation in the markets, which I think is hurting sort of older games and helping discover. I think there may well be, if there is a renaissance, because Sega really have been Sega and Nintendo have both been very clueless by not reissuing some of the older consoles. I think they could have made a lot of money by reissuing, say, the SNES and reissuing some of the older games. Now, they can't reissue every single game they ever made, but... so you... Right, I don't want to be skidding all over the place. Break early for that one. I did pretty badly on this one before, so I've got to do better. And if you...
Checkpoint.
I can't remember if I exit, whether you can be cheeky and quit out and it saves your progress in the tournament. Yeah, there's the... Yeah, the grip's much, but this it's a bit looser on the grips, so. Oh, come on, you're skidding it. Okay, this has been such a bad start. I feel like restarting, but it won't let me.
Checkpoint.
No, I understand that some people do like that retro feel, and I appreciate the CRTs give you the true arcade experience, especially really high quality ones. In fact, they give you a better fantastic experience than the.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
This is a disaster. So if I exit, does that retire? Okay, does that? Does that allow me to save? Does it save my progress? Can I be cheeky? Does that? Oh, come on, where's the save function? Ah. Okay, I've just been a bit of an idiot there, but never mind.
R. I. V.
Where's the save feature then? I'm going to be cheeky and see if I can deliberately get the best lap. So, yeah.
37 Speedway.
So where do you actually go to save it then? It must be in the menu.
Hornet.
It has a save feature, but it won't let you save. Let me just check this out. I thought you could save after every race. Here we go, the manual. Championship mode is page 27. Oh, the end of a race. So that's the only option. They should actually have it in the menu. I must be passing over it. I still prefer CRTs, but only when it's not something like the Dreamcast. So something like the Dreamcast, I prefer VGA, but sometimes it's nice to play on the CRT just to sort of get away from the sort of... Because I spend most of the day looking at LCD, so the CRTs give me a break, basically.
1. Go.
Underway. Stay low in the turn.
Yeah, I've got a proper professional CRT, so it's not... It's actually one of the late 2000 ones. It's actually a widescreen one. It is absolutely phenomenal, but it's massive.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
But yeah, it gives you a... So a lot of people rave about... Is it PVMs? Professional video monitors. I have a late 2000 CRT that gives you a PVM picture without having to own a PVM, because the late CRTs in the sort of early 2000s gave you PVM pictures. So all these idiots paying for PVMs don't know what they're buying. A lot of them, I think, are a bit clueless when it comes to retro games. Basically, if you buy a late high-end CRT, it will look as good as, if not better than, a PVM.
Checkpoint.
It's dreadful, isn't it? I'm feeling the rage critic. I want to get sort of almost I'm going to try to see if I can get a skid as well. I might go for medium soft, so you can tell I'm going for that. Didn't really do that on stream because people will be like, I want to watch the whole thing.
R. I.
They did used to play little jingles if you entered your name originally. It's sort of like, I wonder if some of them still do. So
Challengers Cup. Speedway.
oh, it does change the courses on TV stations in late 90s. Yeah, that might be a PVM then. I have a big one, but it's better than, basically it gives you professional image quality, so it gives you a picture that was effectively superior to
Race start.
that's equal to or perhaps even superior to a PVM because it's a late 2000s one. But there was a lot of rush for people to go, oh, PVMs are really good. Better pick than a late CRT.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a really good late CRT, they will look better than PV. They will look to the same standard as PVMs, but it does depend on who your manufacturer is and how big it is. So mine is better than a PVM's, but the caveat is it is massive, so you are not getting that in a small house. I think it's 30 inches or something stupid. It's colossal. It sits on its own stand. It is, and there are some times where I think that's a bit big. I want to get rid of it, but okay, yes, these tyres are better. These tyres are way, way better.
Checkpoint.
Oh wow, I've absolutely thumped this guy this time around. Oh, can I get 16? No, won't be.
Checkpoint.
Oh, come on, he just came up to me. He just took me. Has he got slow car booster on? I hate slow car booster.
Checkpoint.
Ah, no.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
This is the final lap.
That guy's getting a 17-second lap and then some.
Stay low in the turn.
Yeah, I've got a Philips that does 100 Hertz. Yeah, I don't know the HDMI CRTs. They are pretty rare actually to get. CRTs actually give a better picture than LCD screens, but the problem is, in order to get them to produce picture that quality, they have to be massive. Hence why they move towards flat screens, because they're just unwieldy. There's no save option. It said supposedly... Just watch the replay of that one. There is no save option. The manual's a lie. The manual says there should be a save option. Have a quick look at this one.
1, go!
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I have one that actually does line doubling, 100 Hz, and a few other things. Yeah, they are incompatible. Ironically, the one I've got's not compatible with light guns, even when you set it to 60 Hz or 50. Which is the only downside. Because they refresh too fast for the light guns to pick up. Well, you can still pick them up, but they don't pick up at the right rate. Yeah, so it should be a save option there, and there isn't. Is it only at certain points? Oh, for the... I hit the exit option. I thought that was back to the next race. No, it was the next race. Oh, you... There's no confirmation of destructive action. Sega, what are you doing? That's a TRC fail. No confirmation of destructive action. Right, shove it. I'm going back to some standard races on the courses.
Dinosaur Seaside Street Galaxy.
Oh, you can do normal, you can do reverse, you can do mirror, and you can do mirror reverse, so... Just gonna change... Yeah, the tyre's actually better on medium hard. Yeah, some of the big CRTs, one of my family members used to work at Argos, and basically they said some of the big CRTs needed 4 people to carry them. And we're not talking small guys, 4 like big, strong, muscly guys to carry some of them because they're so heavy. I dread to think the day we're going to have to carry that out. We're going to have to get someone to help. Or at least, well, it's more particularly, there's a couple of us who carry it, but I know I want a few extra people just to be on the safe side, because 1 or 2 people I know who carry stuff don't carry stuff very well.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah, most late CRTs have RGB as standard. In fact, if your CRT doesn't have RGB, it's very early and a bit rubbish. I know some of the PCMs actually have outputs which are really nice, because you can capture light gun footage from them and things. No, oh, no, restart. Don't want to go down that one.
3, 2, 1, go!
The problem with LCD TVs now is a lot of them don't do 240p or 480p or even 480i. Basically, they don't do those low resolutions now, which is a big issue.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
I've probably still got the normal tyres on. Together.
Checkpoint.
Oh yeah, there's a statue of Jeffrey as well there, from Virtua Fighters. Or Virtua Fighter, I should say. There's no L in it.
Watch your speed. Try to go easy.
Blue sky.
Your time's extended.
Oh. Skidding all over the place. Never mind. I'll take the unofficial shortcut that I used to do. Yeah, this version punishes you for doing the shortcut. In the Saturn's one, you can literally drive over there, and I think the arcade one, you can drive it over there without next to no speed loss. Oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to get a lap, and then I'll be... Let's go together.
Stay low in the turn.
Drive sky. This one normally gave you loads of extra time as well.
Your time's extended. Stay low in the turn.
Oh, come on. Brakes shouldn't do that. That's the thing. It's the irritating with me is because I'm trying to play as if I was playing Daytona USA, the actual original Saturn and arcade version. It's just the things you would do just don't work in this one. It just...
Check your position.
Blue sky.
Checkpoint.
Your time's extended.
And I should not sing because people aren't paying to listen to me sing.
Check your position. Your time's extended.
I do love the music though. Yeah, this is not. Well, I think this is the best run yet doing this version. Yeah. Yeah, there's just some weird handling issues with this version.
You place 15.
Give that another shot. I'm trying to see if I can get a second lap out of this one. Normally this is... See, in the original Daytona, this is actually quite an easy course, Seaside Street Gallery. But in this version, the handling just doesn't suit this rendition. I think we're probably going to steadily drop off viewers now, because I think I've pretty much shown everything I can do, so...
Checkpoint.
Just in case whether you want to watch more Daytona and listen to us chatting away. So I appreciate everyone who's been on stream. I will probably be wrapping up in the not too distant future myself. Maybe I'll give Championship one last shot. But yeah, it says there should be a save option, and there isn't a save option for Championship. Yeah, normally you'd go down that thing. It's actually easier to take this outer one, this one.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, you physically have to race these courses differently to how you would in the actual original game, because the handling is so different. That's annoying because what I want to do isn't working and I'm having to do different driving strategies. So, I mean, these 360 turns you really have to. Yeah, for some consoles you really are going to need upscaling devices to get them to work. Although I have had one or two games that use really weird techniques on like the NES, and then even the upscalers threw wobblies. As we saw Super Ninja Boy on the SNES, the open source scan converter did not like in the slightest, and the old cheaper scaler we used to use did not like Snake Rattle and Roll on the NES because that runs at an odd power resolution. That would just literally scroll the screen horribly. This is right, I literally need to slow down. Yeah, literally, I cannot take that turn at anything, at any speed whatsoever. You just got to drive like blue, blue skies I see. Blue, blue skies. I'll be back onto Eldorado's gate shortly. Okay. Oh no, I wasn't going the wrong way. You jumped the gun a bit there. I'm not going to get to the next checkpoint. I hit that badly.
Check your position.
At least get round here. Yeah, not 3. Oh, maybe. Oh, yes, just right. So this is better. Come on. Again, you cannot make that corner without literally... No, not going to make that. Well, that was better than all the other runs on that stage. And a bit of practice always helps. Yep, I think we're slowly losing viewers now. Appreciate everyone who's been on stream. Appreciate everyone who's hit that like button. I will give Championship one last shot, but I think there isn't a huge amount here to actually showcase, really. I think there are some unlockable cars, but they are basically do Championship mode and various modes. As I said, one of them is literally, I think, I can't remember if it shows you your play time in the option. You have to play for 100 hours, basically. It's a horror. And then you get a weird, like, rubbish-looking car as well. Yeah, it's generally, well, it's actually quite handy. There's still bits that would be better for me using Super Ninja Boy on because it stabilizes it. I mean, yeah, it has a few. There are a few things basically the open source stand converter is not very good at, and that is actually miles better. I have actually seen someone downscale HDMI to composite actual RF. There's actually, I think it was an LGR video where he actually did that, where he took a HDMI picture and then downscaled it all the way. Do you get a horse at least? I think you get a horse in this one. I can't quite remember. You get a horse in the Daytona USA on Saturn, and you get a 2 horses in Daytona USA. And you get it in CCE as well. So car. I'm just actually going to change the tyres. Yeah, the medium soft and medium hard are much better. Basically, if you have too much grip, it just holds the road and doesn't race like Daytona.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah, no, if you on the older systems, you just basically want something that can just run composite. On some of them, I imagine there is nothing. Oh, the only thing you can get is RF, so you do need an RF scaler. It's like the ZX Spectrum. I'd love to cover that on the channel, but we only have the old one. I think that only does... It may do composite. I know there is an RGB ZX Spectrum, though. Yeah, you need to get 17-second laps if you want to. And he's definitely got slow car booster on as well, the guy in first in this.
Stay low in the turn.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, there's a weird thing. You get a 17-second lap and all of a sudden you just start massively gaining on the car in first.
Stay low in the turn.
Oh, this might be fast. This might be very fast.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
What I'm finding is to just gently hit the brake, double tap it, and then turn hard. So you're trying to do a sort of semi-power slide. So just hit the brake as you turn and then double tap the accelerator. Oh, no, you're not. I'm going to take...
Checkpoint.
This is the final lap.
Again, he just comes right by you.
Stay low in the turn.
Yeah, double tap brake, I should have said, and then just take the edge off it and turn. Yeah, we have an end. So we don't have a modded NES. I would quite like to get one. We do have a North American modded N64, and that's everything. The only thing I use S-Video for these days is the PAL N64. Everything else with RGB, bar we'd have to use composite for the NES.
National Park Speedway.
So you're actually mistaken there, 8-bit SNK boy. The NES, the Famicom only supported RF. The NES supported composite, and there was a revised Famicom that supported composite. The SNES supports RGB out of the box. Because I have a PAL SNES and a Japanese one, they all use SNES used RGB though, yeah, as Nico says. The N64 only uses S-Video. They took out the RGB for some stupid reason. So I appreciate all the likes, everyone on stream. If you are enjoying this stream, if you're new to the Randomised Gaming, hello, my name is Random Gamer Riven. I am the editor of Randomised Gaming. In tonight's stream, we're looking at Daytona USA 2001, which was known in North America as Daytona USA. They dropped the 2001 tagline, which I think was a mistake. I'll just change the colours again. Let's go with the alternative one. So I should say I'm playing the PAL version of the game, which has the online mode notoriously removed.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
No.
So, good luck.
3, 2,
If you say about the PAL version of the N64, that does support S-Video. The PAL version of the N64 does support S-Video. Or at least the early revisions do. Mine one does out of the box. There's some early ones that can be modded. Yeah, so PAL, you're incorrect there, Nico. PAL N64 does support S-Video. Or at least my one does. I know there was some, they did fiddle around, so some early ones could be converted to RGB, and there are... I think all these cars are on fixed lap times, actually.
Checkpoint.
As always, if you're enjoying our stream, please do consider hitting that like button. It does help this video in the endless rankings war where YouTube will place it. And if you want to comment, please do. Please just drop a comment in the chat. You do need to be subscribed to the channel for a minute. That's purely to stop spam messages, I'm afraid. So, but you can unsubscribe if you don't like the content at the end of the channel. But if you want to stop by and chat, by all means, please do.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
Okay, that's just literally hold brake and turn round there hard. For that best. Is this going to be a good time?
Checkpoint.
39 seconds. Okay, that's actually pretty good. No, I don't want that.
Stay low in the turn.
Ash.
Are you alright?
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
Yeah, I have a PAL. I had an S video cable, so the one thing with the RGB, the N64 and the GameCube and the SNES all use slightly different tweaks on the RGB, so
Checkpoint.
well, I'm improving on my previous one. Before I was 10th, so can I finish this race at least?
Checkpoint.
But yeah, my PAL N64 does use S-Video out of the box, but Nintendo did play around with the hardware, I know, so if you have a later version, they may well have taken out S-Video.
Stay low in the turn.
I got a fairly early N64, so I'm losing this.
Checkpoint.
2 laps to go. Rear bumper.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
I've got to brake more in that turn.
Are you alright?
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
This is the final lap.
Come on, I've dropped positions this time. I was really up in the head, and then
Stay low in the turn.
come on, come on.
Checkpoint.
Stay low in the turn.
Hi Erica, do you think you could stream some of the Amiga ports for the Mega Drive games that mistakenly received 60Hz ports on the Mega Drive Genesis? Yes, we can do. I'd have to dig out the PAL Mega Drive. The downside with that is our PAL Mega Drive is of a model that does have a very nasty background noise, but I can do. Certainly Aquatic Games as well is virtually unplayable. I mean, a lot of them are just like, they're literally the EA games where they did them for... You want to see how they run? Yeah, so I will definitely dig that out. I can't say when it will be, though. It'll be some while. But yeah, we can definitely do that. Did we? I'm just trying to think if we actually have gods on the Mega Drive. Do we have gods on the Mega Drive? We must do. Just see. So as long as I stay in the top, I'm just trying to think if we actually have gods on the Sega Mega Drive. We definitely have Shadow of the Beast, although the Japanese version of Shadow of the Beast is actually different to the PAL version.
Ring, ring, ring.
Okay, yes, we do have gods on the Mega Drive. Yeah, I know Speedball 2. Speedball 2 as well definitely plays better at 50 Hz on the Mega Drive. That would be quite a nice one to cover at some point. That was optimized for 50 Hz. So yeah, I will definitely dig out the Power Machine at some point and look at some of the games. Jimmy White's Whirlwind Pool was properly done for PAL as well, and that's a PAL exclusive. You want to see the original one? Yeah, that's truer to the original Amiga's version as well. So definitely look at a few of them. Aquatic Games as well. Maybe some of the Robocods. They were all designed and optimized for the PAL market, not the NTSC one. Gremlins as well did the Zool, and Zool's actually 50 Hz only. So that actually. If you try and run that at 60 Hz, that actually throws you a warning message. So yeah, you can generally tell. Rolo to the rescue as well. The game was a bit slippery. I mean, we did cover Rolo in the video review, but I actually captured the footage at 60 Hz now, which I realised was a big mistake.
Race start. Ladies
Yeah,
and
I'll
gentlemen,
definitely make a
start
list of
your
that stuff
engine.
to look at some point. I might actually try and do a gameplay video over a stream on some of them. I've never actually finished. I never actually finished Shadow of the Beast, even on the Mega Drive version. I've got quite a way into it, but it's a game you have to memorise every single thing in order to beat. It's purely a memory test game, Shadow of the Beast. It's not a game as such, it's a memory test. Right, so I'm just trying to work out when you've got to brake really low down to make that turn. Come on, stop skidding.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
5 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
I don't know why they're all part. Yeah, this I probably shouldn't do medium to hard tyres on this one. They seem to. You just seem to skid all over the place. You have to brake as well. You cannot make that turn. If you don't brake, you will get absolutely annihilated. Although I can catch at this point.
Checkpoint.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let my foot off the accelerator rather than brake too much.
Stay low in the turn.
Come on, move, move, move. That turn is just horrible. And this one will automatically put you into a thing. You want to use the corner there to literally knock you. It's a case of really mastering the tracks in this. You've just got to. No, I'm just going to let go of the accelerator at this point. Okay, literally that will turn you at that corner if you basically want to turn late, so you hit the wall to stop you from skidding.
Checkpoint.
2 laps to go. Stay low in the turn.
Come on, I literally had to. So that time I literally. Didn't turn. Yeah, so you will put yourself into a skid at that point. That's just. This lap seems to want you to literally take half the course without anything on the accelerator or gas.
Checkpoint.
This is the final lap.
Let's just release, accelerator off. Okay, literally this is just cruising speed. Okay, so literally it seems to want you to drive at a cruising speed round there. Literally, I did not have my thing on the accelerator at all during that last bit. That seemed to be the way to get round it. Literally just don't accelerate round it at all. So that should keep my position at least up, so... Okay, so I've got to be in the 5th position come this next race.
Dinosaur Canyon.
Dinosaur Canyon. Okay guys, this may well be the last race of the night. If things don't go well, let's see how well we do. Okay, I just had the stream jam. Yeah, apologies if you're wondering why I haven't replied to your messages. Thanks to everyone on stream. I just noticed the picture was basically my stream footage was black, so when I clicked on it, it suddenly brought when all your messages
Ladies
came up.
and gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah, basically some of the games that are European developed, i.e. Speedball 2, run too fast on NTSTC. I mean, some of them do actually have things, so Speedball 2 definitely, I don't think even runs initially. There's Jimmy White Pool as well, so...
Checkpoint.
Okay, go across the grass to slow you down. It's a good way to do it at that point. Ow. Yeah, the downside, if you turn, those wheels will turn you. I've noticed you mentioned Harry Potter on PS1 a lot, Nico. I take it you're a big fan of that. Oh, come on, get it. Get out of the speed.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, it's very easy to slide in this one, and you can't apply how you would drive the races in the original Daytona, because basically some of the tactics I've been using would get me fine in Daytona, but this version they do not. So what I'm going to do is drive across here to slow me down, so that way I can actually take this turn.
Checkpoint.
This one does actually adjust the speed based on how heavy or light you press the accelerator as well, which is another thing I've not really been paying much attention to. So if you slam it down, you will do... Okay, that's a better time. That's a much better time.
Checkpoint.
There's something weird with how the laps go in this, I think.
Checkpoint.
So I'm improving, but am I improving enough to actually make...
Checkpoint.
Oh, some nice... I do like some of the crashing effects you've had with some of the other cars, at least. Previous lap time? No, not quite.
Checkpoint.
We're in 15. I'm up better on the previous positions. It's not going to do well, but let's... Yeah, I really have to just brake. You have to really adjust the accelerator. You have to basically...
Checkpoint.
You don't actually want your foot on the gas all the way in this version, which is the mistake I've been making. I just realised that in this now as we're coming to the end of the stream. If you don't have it on all the way, you'll get a much lighter acceleration
Checkpoint.
to give you a more controllable turn. But the power sliding is very difficult.
Stay low in the turn.
Come on, come on. Come on, that was really good until that last bit. 51, 52. 14th. I actually really enjoy Circuit Edition still. I'm not a fan of this version in the slightest. It's just a better... Once you sit down with the steering wheel, I think it's probably better than... I prefer probably possibly to the original Daytona for me, but I appreciate that the original Daytona is still closer to the arcade. So it's got select series. Does that me out, or does it would have put? Yeah, it hasn't put me on Rink. I think the tracks do change a bit sometimes because we had Rink before and I messed up right at the end. But oh well, yeah. Oh, select the series is. Oh. Okay guys, it's great to see you all chatting and everything. However, thank you all for the likes and everything. If you are still watching and enjoyed this stream, please do consider hitting that like button. It's very much appreciated as well for the channels. It does help, I think. So guys, I thank you all for being in the comments. So thank you to, who did we have in the comments? Thank you to Nico, who's been with us all stream. Thank you to Matthew Sanders, who popped in for a bit. Thank you to Arika as always, and thank you to 8-Bit SNK for accompanying me on this stream as we've looked at Daytona USA 2001. I will endeavour to look at some more Dreamcast stuff. So for the minute I'm going to be looking at Dreamcast stuff. I will have a look again at Mega Drive stuff. I do need to dig out the PAL Mega Drive though, but I will have a look at some of the PAL games at some point. Bear in mind I may do videos as well, because I know some people don't like the stream, some people do, some people like the standard videos. So, but thank you all for watching, everyone who has been on the stream as always. But I am going to call it and wrap it up there. So this has been Daytona USA 2001. It said it was developed by Amusement Vision and it was primarily done for Genki. By Genki, I said it's not the best version of Daytona. It doesn't reflect the original arcade game. Genki did admit in later interviews they did not understand the handling. Yeah, I was hoping we might get a few more than 11 likes. We've been stuck at 11 for a little while. But thank you to everyone who has hit that like button. I'm guessing we sort of run out of people. But thank you all, and just listen to that iconic Daytona music. Yeah, I will be doing DC for a little while, so I'm going to be videoing a few games. I will be doing some DC standard games. I will have a video of Darius Burst up tomorrow. We'll be doing a long play. Appreciate everyone hitting the like button. Okay, we have just reached 12. Thank you all. Thank you for your time here. I will be doing so. I might do Star Lance Thursday. I'll sort that out tomorrow as well. I'll sort out Thursday's stream. I may do Star Lance. At the minute, I have been cheekily avoiding games we haven't already covered on a standard video, purely because that way I can use them for standard videos. So, but I'll probably do a playthrough Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I was trying that the other day. I may look at actually doing a playthrough on one of the... Oh, thank you. We've got 13 likes. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for hitting that like button. If you enjoyed our content, please do consider subscribing as well. Very much appreciated. I do thank you all for accompanying me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this look at Daytona. So Daytona USA 2001. It's not my personal favourite version, but I appreciate there are people out there who do love this version. And you still can't... There's nothing quite like that Daytona music belting at the top of your lungs. But that is it from me, Random Game Riven. I'm going to finish it here. Yep, Star Lancer. You've never seen that on the... I do have a standard video of Star Lancer of like the first mission, but that's a really, really good Dreamcast game. If you've never played it, Star Lancer is phenomenal. It's a very, very good Dreamcast game. Based on the PC, the shooter where you basically blow up all the... It's a really good port as well. It's really good. So we were at 13 likes. It's now jumped back down to 12. So I've recounted or... Someone's hit the wrong button or something, but thank you all. Unlucky for some, maybe. Thank you all for joining in on the stream, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there. So I have been your host, this randomised gaming stream, Random Gamer Riven. This has been Daytona USA 2001 on the Sega Dreamcast. I will wish you a good night, a good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Or... Yeah, good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And I will be back when I can do on Thursday. But we will have a video of Darius Burst hitting the channel tomorrow. In fact, I might just sort that out just now. So I just need to do a thumbnail so that we can get it up so everyone can see it for the day before it comes out. But I will see you all. Oh, cool, you got 30. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you all. Thank you all again for joining. But I will see you all on Thursday's stream. Said, stay tuned to the channel. We'll have a look at Darius Burst tomorrow. But night all.